automatically this dude should get every Cajun cooking license revoked. Like, I'm starting to get mad. Overrated. Hey everyone, Chef Jean Paul here. Today I'm doing something a little different. I'm going to film a reaction video from my boy. Don't know him actually, he's not my boy. Nick DiGiovanni. Now, I thought I had a hard last name to say, but Nick DiGiovanni might be even a harder one. I don't know if I got that right. Look, this dude is a monster. 25 million subscribers, a Harvard grad. You know the man's smart.
Big shout going out to the Harvard massive.
Internet says he's worth like 60 mil. I mean, that is just impressive. Well, he's got a crawfish boil video, and I wanted to just see what he's like. I've watched a few of his videos. Seems like he knows his way around the kitchen and cook, but I want to know how the man cooks crawfish. So here we go. It's a short. So I'm sure you can't get through everything in a short. It's only, I think, 1 minute this one is. But I'm going to go through it anyway. See what happens. Let's do a crawfish boil, he says.
Let's do a crawfish boil.
Let's get it, dude.
All right. Right away, he's invoking the great stale cracker. Justin and I know each other well. We are from the same small town in Louisiana. We went to high school together, played baseball and football together. He's a great person to go to if you're looking to learn how to boil crawfish. So if Nick is checking out Justin on YouTube and trying to learn how to boil crawfish or getting some tips and pointers from him, I'm sure Justin's got some good ones. All right, stale cracker, opening up Nick's crawfish boiling video.
These guys are lively.
Nice live crawfish. They got to be from Louisiana, I would imagine, because they're from China. They surely not live. So that looks like Louisiana crawfish, and it looks like he's getting to rinse the crawfish. Let's see.
Rinse them off.
Okay, so rinsing the crawfish, very common practice. Although most crawfish come purged and rinsed already, it's always nice to give them a final rinse before you start cooking them. So good on Nick for doing the first kind of step when it comes to boiling crawfish, and that's making sure they're as clean as possible before you boil them. All right, let's move on. He is putting something in this glass pot. We can address that later if it comes to it.
To your water, add pepper, coriander, onion powder, garlic powder, ground mustard, smoked paprika, ground cloves and allspice, dill weed, cayenne pepper, a few bay leaves, and whatever the heck else you want. It's seafood boil season.
All right, Nick. Okay. All right. We started off strong, Nick, but I gotta say something. Where's the salt? Where's the salt? You put all these dried herbs and seasoning in there that aren't going to dissolve in this water, and you got no salt. Anybody worth their weight that knows how to cook knows the importance of salt. Without salt, you ain't tasting any of those seasonings you put in there, Nick. All right, so salt, very important to crawfish boils, right? It opens up your taste buds and allows all those seasonings to actually be absorbed through those taste buds. And it's just so important on so many levels, like just from like a biology level and how we taste. Crawfish boils are famous for being salty, and a lot of times too salty for people. So anyways, kosher, sea salt, table salt, it doesn't matter, but you got to put some salt in it. All right, so not the greatest start. Yes, he washed the crawfish, but he's not seasoning his water correctly. He's got all these other seasonings in there, which I guess, whatever. I mean, I don't know. Let's see.
And whatever the heck else you want. It's seafood boil season. My glass pot is just cracked. This is not good.
Okay, so he's cooking in a glass pot, and I'm sure he's just doing that to like show what's inside the pot. You can see through it, right? You can see through glass. You can't see through aluminum. But really, when it comes to boiling crawfish on a stovetop, if you're going to do it, just make sure you have a good heavy bottom pot that's non-reactive. So not a cast iron pot, not anything with raw iron, but you probably want stainless steel with a nice heavy bottom that's going to retain some heat, because your recovery time when boiling crawfish is really important. So anyways, I'm not sure what his kitchen setup looks like. I'm not sure what his stove setup. I'm telling you that a glass pot ain't gonna boil seafood very well. And for those who want to boil seafood at home, we don't have these big jet burner pots and so on that they're boiling. You can do it on stovetop. Just make sure you got a good heavy bottom pot, and you got, hopefully you're putting it on your hottest and best burner on that stovetop because you want good recovery time. All right, he's throwing down some sausage. Let's see what he's got to say.
I love a good sausage.
Okay. Let's move on past that. Zatarain sausage. I've never had it, but Zatarain's is a great brand. I've used Zatarain's in different applications all my life, from their seasonings, topical seasonings, to their crawfish boils, to their liquid boils. There's a ton of great seafood boils on Amazon. But my bigger question is, even though I haven't tried the sausage, and sausage is one of the big components that I think belong in a crawfish boil, but why not just use the Zatarain seasonings? He could have just had this one really good tried and true pack of Zatarain seasoning that really will make your crawfish taste like a Louisiana crawfish boil. But he doesn't use it. Now, he could have used it. He could use brands like Slap Your Mama. He could have used brands like Louisiana Crawfish or Cajun Crawfish. But he chose to make his own by putting all these different seasonings, from smoked paprika to cayenne to dill to allspice to black pepper, but no salt. Where's the salt? No salt. And he could have just used the Zatarain seasoning. So I think, these creators, they want to create these big jump cuts that always keep your eye going from one slide to the next. Maybe that was the reason why he didn't use Zatarain's seafood boil, because it just seems like he's promoting Zatarain's. I get it's the sausage. Maybe I'm sure it's a paid thing, right? Dude didn't make $60 million by doing it for free. That's for sure. But why not just use the Zatarain? So all I can go to is that he wanted to make his own, put his own in there, no salt, although, and then he can create these jump cuts that really keep you watching and engaged. So he's got the pack of sausage getting cut open.
Now add some corn, potatoes, plenty of garlic, and smoked sausage.
Corn, potatoes, plenty of garlic, and he's already cut the sausage. So, he's got that going on for him. Sausage, corn, and potato. They are, in my opinion, the three ingredients other than the crawfish itself that need to be in a crawfish bowl. That's your classic big three combo that go with the crawfish, is corn, potato, sausage. Now, I will say some of his delivery on those vegetables into this pot are wrong, and I'll explain why here in a little bit, I think.
Now add some corn, potatoes, plenty of garlic, and smoked sausage. Last but not least, we'll let our crawdaddy swim in here for a few minutes.
Okay, so I mean, there's a lot to unpack in this few seconds. First of all, timing. Look, I get it. This is a short. He can't put everything in there. He can't lay every bit of information in there like I'm trying to do right now. But I think it's important that if you're going to put any type of content out there, that it should, yes, it could be entertaining, but it should also be like factual or true. And this is about the most untrue version of a crawfish boil that I've seen.
Liar! He's badgering the witness.
It's his witness.
First of all, you need to let your potatoes and sausage cook for a little bit. You need to let those potatoes cook before you put your crawfish in. That's worth mentioning, right? If you boil your crawfish if you throw them all in one pot at one time and you boil your crawfish till they're perfect, your potatoes are going to be raw. On the flip side, if you throw them all in one pot at one time and you boil your potatoes till they're perfect, then your crawfish are going to be mush. So it really takes your potatoes, your sausage, your garlic in first. Let that cook till they're about there. Then you're going to throw your crawfish. My rule of thumb is once my crawfish go in the pot, now water's boiling, right? My crawfish go in the pot, my pot is going to stop boiling. Once it comes back up to a boil, keep it on high. You set a timer for 3 minutes and you boil crawfish for 3 minutes. Then after 3 minutes, you shut that fire off, you move it to the side, then hopefully you got some frozen corn that will knock down and shock that water a little bit. That would be my process. Once that water comes back up to boil, 3 minutes, move to the side and put your corn in.
Now add some corn, potatoes, plenty of garlic, and smoked sausage. Last but not least, we'll let our crawdaddy swim in here for a few minutes.
Okay, he called them crawdaddies. Automatically, this dude should get every Cajun cooking license revoked. All right. Anybody who calls them crawdaddies or crawdads, oh, I got some friends that call them mud bugs and bugs. I'm sorry. Like, just call them what they are, crawfish.
Last but not least, we'll let our crawdaddy swim in here for a few minutes.
Okay. Whoa. All right. So again, this is a short, not a long video, but he did not show the most important part of cooking side of the crawfish is the soak. The most important step to a crawfish boil is the soak. The soak. The soak. I'm saying it 3 times for the people in the back. The soak.
So who's soaking for? Soaking is for you.
The soak, in my opinion, is the most important part of boiling crawfish.
Yep, soaking is definitely for you.
Allowing those crawfish to soak in that water, not the 212 degree water that it's been boiling in, but something more in like 170, 160, where that crawfish is still hot, it's steamy, but they're not overcooking. This allows the crawfish to finish cooking, that last 25% or so, but also soak in all that juice and seasonings into the cavities of that head.
If you simply want to have more intimacy just in general, then soaking is for you.
Now, Nick does not do it in this video. He does not show it. He does not mention. I'm assuming maybe he doesn't know about the soak. But if he's watching Stale Cracker, I mean, I know Justin's soaking his crawfish for at least 10 minutes, likely 20 to 30. All right, so moving on, right? It looks like the crawfish are done. He's putting them into a bowl. Let's see what else old Nicky got up his sleeve.
I like to add some butter.
The man added butter. For what? I have no idea. There's no salt in the recipe right now. How does a man not put salt, but he's going to put butter in the crawfish bowl? Look, there's a big population of people cooking Vietnamese style crawfish right now, which is typically a butter sauce of garlic, lemongrass, ginger, chili, cilantro, maybe some shallots, all cooked down for a little bit, but it's very buttery, very herbaceous. And then they take those boiled crawfish out that have been cooked like a Louisiana style, and they toss them in that butter. Maybe Nicky Boy right here is getting something from that. But honestly, just like whole butter into a pot of crawfish, that's borderline offensive. It's borderline offensive. And for people for people eating and peeling those crawfish, now you got this slick, slippery butter all over my crawfish. And you don't even have any seasoning on the outside to lick your fingers with that butter and seasoning. No, I'm just got this greasy mess of butter into this bowl of crawfish. Like, I'm starting to get mad. Like, I don't even know what to say about this right now. This thing got 33 million views. Honestly, I hope people are just watching it because he's entertaining, which I can't even say he's really entertaining, but he's certainly not a good crawfish boiling cook. I don't know. I'm just calling it how it is. Let's keep going.
Slurp the head, eat the tail.
Okay. Slurp the head, eat the tail. Okay. I mean, look, say what you want to say. Slurp the head, eat the tail. It's suck the head, pinch the tail. Did he do that on purpose? Everybody knows it's suck the head, pinch the tail. Juices the fat out of the crawfish and pinch the tail, which is part of the process of actually peeling the shell off the tail and eating the meat. So anyways, maybe I'm hypercritical. I don't know, but I think from my Louisiana folks, my folks that have boiled crawfish 10 times, whatever, they know what I'm talking about. Let's keep going. Oh, that's it. Okay, so we don't get to see him actually peel a crawfish or anything like that. We have no idea if he even actually eats this crawfish. I don't even know what to say about Nick. I mean, the dude is a monster on YouTube. Monster. I've seen his videos. He seems like he does some cool stuff. He knows his way around the kitchen. He's 28 years old. He went to Harvard. You know the dude's smart.
Is and all. Is and all.
But he ain't no crawfish cook. If you're looking for somebody to learn how to boil crawfish from, there's always me. There's always people like Justin Chasson and about 1 million other peoples on YouTube that know how to boil crawfish. This guy, Nick DiGiovanni, may, of course, know how to cook a lot of things, but a crawfish cook he is not. If you like this video and want to see more, make sure you like, subscribe, and push those notifications on to get more of them. Thank you, y'all.